I'm Emily Cox. How are y'all today? Good. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about leadership. Leadership is something we're all very familiar with. In college, we study it, but we never really, we haven't seen it in real life yet, other than just school. So one movie that I have recently watched that is a great example of leadership is The Crimson Tide. It is a movie with Denzel Washington and several other popular actors where they are Marines on a Navy submarine. They are at the bottom of the ocean. It is in a time where we are at tensions with Russia, and we're really not sure. They're really not sure what's going on. At parts of the movie are so deep. They've lost communications, and they're really not sure, who's shot at who. And so tensions are very high throughout this whole movie. Three main things that I noticed throughout the movie that talked about leadership and that showed it in some very obvious ways were the two leaders, Captain Ramsey and Commander Hunter, and they had two very different leadership styles. One was a very relationship-oriented, where the other one was very task-oriented, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. Secondly, I want to talk about a little bit about leadership styles from this movie that I would like to emulate in my own life. Why I think that they are good styles and why they're effective. And then to wrap it up, we'll talk about a specific scene from the movie that shows leader-follower interaction and how to assess your leader and your follower, like what's best for the situation. So to kind of get started, we'll talk about the two leaders and their different leadership styles. So captain of the boat is Captain Ramsey. He is an older, very experienced, wise captain, and he has many dedicated followers. He has an autocratic leadership style where he demands obedience immediately. He doesn't take a whole lot of consideration from other people. He doesn't consult, what do you think? This is his way, it's his way, or the highway. And he is very task-oriented. So when situations arise, he doesn't really take time to consider emotions or whose feelings are going to be hurt or how people are going to like his decision. He is, what do we need to do? Very task-related leader. In contrast, Commander Hunter is a younger Marine. He has not yet been in a leadership position in a submarine. This is his first time underwater for an extended period of time. And he is a relationship-based participative leader. So when he is leading and getting to know the sailors, then the Marines, he takes time to get to know them. He is, this is actually shown really well in a scene where he is breaking up a fight. It is a fight between a supervisor and actually some of the people he is supervising. When he comes across the fight, he breaks it up, and instead of the way Captain Ramsey would have done, he takes time to figure out what's going on. Why are you fighting? What caused this? And come to find out, it was over something fairly irrelevant. But instead of getting mad, he takes time. He says, "Hey man, what's going on? What's the deal?" After he figures it out, he says, "Look, I get it. We all get frustrated, but you've got to be the supervisor here. You've got to take the high road. You got to do better than this." And in return, the sailor, the Marine, he reacted really well. He said, "Yeah, I understand." And throughout the movie, you see his growth as a leader in response to the appropriate leadership style that was used. This is actually a leadership style that I personally prefer to emulate in my life in the different leadership roles that I have the opportunity to take. I am a very relationship-based person. I like to, when I meet a group of people or when I go to a club, I'm not necessarily the loud one, the one that everybody likes, but I like to get to know you one-on-one. So if you and I were in a club together, I would try to make a connection with you so that when we were in an event or we were trying to get things done, we would have a relationship already, and you would trust me. We would be effective as a team. It would not be strictly based on you felt like you had to follow me, you had to respect me. It was a mutual trust thing. And I also, when I am in leadership roles, I like to take other people's opinions and look around before I make a decision. Is this the best decision for the group? Not necessarily the one I think is the best. So I will take into consideration, your opinion on whatever we're doing, and then make the best decision for the group in the event. Task-oriented leaders, this is something that you have to do occasionally sometimes, was shown with Commander Hunter when there was a fire in the kitchen. He is a participative leader. He is relationship-based. But when the moment came, he was task-oriented because he had to be, because that's what was needed for the moment. And I like to do the same thing, adapt to whatever's needed at the moment. And kind of to wrap it all up, we'll talk about a scene that I really, really think was a great example of leadership-follower interactions. You have to assess the situation based on the follower, and you have to consider that when you're, practicing how you lead and different things like that. So Commander Hunter was discussing very heatedly with one of his followers, subordinates, that they needed to close a door. The ship had been hit, they were sinking, it was filling up with water, they had to close it. They had to do that or else everyone was going to die. However, Hellerman, Lieutenant Hellerman, had someone in this room that they were trying to close off. Well, instead of just demanding that he shut the door, Hunter took the minute to explain to him, look, man, this is hard. I know you've got a man in there, but you've got to make the right decision for the boat right now. This is what you need to do. And because he took time to explain that, the follower reacted well. He was an exemplary leader, and this was appropriate because that was what was needed for the moment. This was not the time to just be demanding. So I really recommend this movie. I think it's a great movie for leadership. It shows two very good captains, or very good leaders, their styles. It gives you some takeaways on how to apply that to your life, and then it gives you a scene that sums it up really well. There are several other scenes, but that was just one that I related to.